welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jess. Today's video is going to be makeup that I'm decluttering from my makeup collection and makeup that's also on the chopping block. This is makeup that I either need to use, find more concrete opinions on, how much I enjoy, otherwise they will lose their place in my collection. The reason why I am putting makeup products on the chopping block and I have just decluttered my collection a little bit is because I am moving in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks? That's way too soon. In 4 months with my partner. And I just don't want to move into a place where I'm going to call home with my partner with loads of excess that I'm not happy with or I don't want to use. So I want to put these things on the chopping blocks. I have 4 months to use them, to feel out how I feel about them, to rotate around the products. And a lot of things, like a couple of things on here are things that I want to declutter, but I just don't have the balls to do it yet. So I need those 4 months to come to an acceptance point with it where I know I'm going to declutter it and that's okay. So yeah, that is the story behind why I'm doing this, and I'll let you guys jump on right into all the products. Let's start off by talking through the things that I am decluttering. There's not really many that I'm decluttering, but there's quite a lot that's on the chopping block. So we've got this MAC eyeshadow. This is in the shade Mythology. I actually kept this to the side because even though it didn't fit in my MAC palette that I made, I was like, oh, maybe I'll use it as a single shadow. I don't ever really use single shadows, so that's just not true. And I also have a very similar shade in my MAC makeup, hence why I chose to take this shade out to replace it with a different shade that's literally exactly the same, just a different formula, and I prefer the formula of the other shadow, so I'm going to be decluttering this. Also decluttering finally my e.l.f. brow duo in medium. The powder is just way too light. I was keeping it for the wax, but I haven't used this at all. I used it when I was in my makeup bag, like at home, so I didn't take makeup with me. I used it then, but that's literally it. The only time that I use it is when I have to. I'm also decluttering / binning, unfortunately, this Applica Paris blush in the shade Pollen. This is a liquid blush. It's a stunning shade. I actually have used a decent amount of this blush, pretty much like to here, but unfortunately it just doesn't sit on the skin properly anymore. It's way too oily. It separates really badly, so I unfortunately am going to have to be decluttering this / tossing it because it just is not right anymore. The formula is not right. It smells weird. I'm not going to put that on my face, and I'm not going to pass it on to anyone to put them on their face either. I'm getting rid of this Natural Collection tinted moisturizer. I wanted to try this because I'm looking for like a lighter tinted moisturizer in the summer, and unfortunately I think it broke me out, and I also didn't like the way that it kind of accentuated skin texture in a very strange way. I'm also decluttering this. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Concealer Stick. I'm honestly not too sure about this one, like if I'll actually end up giving it away, because I could see myself using it up. However, it separates on my skin really bad. I think I might actually move this to the chopping block section because I don't know if I'm ready to pass this on just yet. So decluttering the Revolution waterproof mascara. This is the Makeup Revolution mascara, the waterproof version. This just hurts my eyelashes so bad. Like, it feels like needles are getting stabbed into my eyes. Like, this is a great formulated mascara, don't get me wrong, but I just can't do the waterproof version. It feels like needles are in my eyes. It's so sore, and my eyelashes hurt for like 3 days after using this, so I just can't. It's too much for my lashes, unfortunately, in my eyes. Also decluttering the Barry Dazzle Dust. This is an end of an era for me. I have had this for literal years, since I started secondary school, I think. And my issue is, I love it. When I swatch it, I want to keep it. But I have similar shades in eyeshadow palettes that I use. I think ever since I've had this, which is years and years and years, I think I've only used it twice. Which is really sad because this is absolutely phenomenal, absolutely stunning, but I just reach for eyeshadow palettes more. I'm getting rid of 2 lip products, the Revolution, the Sofx Revolution collab in Syrup. I just hate the way this lipstick looks on my lips personally. Like, I swatch it, it looks amazing. On my lips, it just doesn't look right at all. I can't tell, I don't know why, because I feel like I do wear shades similar to this. Maybe it's just the formula, but I just can't. The finish, the whatever it is, it just looks so bad on my lips, and I've never really loved it. And this is really strange because I can't let go of any of my other Sofx Revolution stuff, but this I just feel more than happy to let go of, so I'm going to let go of it. Then I also have the Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lip Colour, and this is in the shade Strapless. I wanted to keep this. I tried it on last night and I was horrified. I think I've tried to declutter this before and I didn't actually end up passing it on. I like kept to myself secretly, but this time I'm ready. It's just too pale. I swatch it, it doesn't look that pale, but on the lips it is really, really pale, so I am going to be decluttering this one for sure this time. The next one makes me kind of sad because I do like this formula and I do enjoy it. However, this is literally a straight up dupe for the Tarte blush that I use so much, so I can't justify keeping it, unfortunately. And that's the Essence Matte Touch Blush in 20 Bury Me Up. This formulation is so great. If you're on a budget, these blushes are phenomenal, just as people to say before me have said. That's what it looks like. It's really nice. I do love this shade, and that's the thing, like, this shade is phenomenal. There's no other reason that I'm decluttering this other than the fact that it is literally the same as like 3 or 4 other blushes in my collection, and I just don't feel the need to hold on to it. It's the one that I use the least out of it. This is my favourite tone of blush, so it makes sense that I have multiple that are the same colour. However, I just never touched this one. I didn't touch it at all last year, which makes me just get rid of it. I did keep the other one though, so I still have one in my collection, so I'm not feeling too bad in general about it. Those are all of the products that I am sadly decluttering. It breaks my heart to let go of makeup. I don't know what it is. I find it so difficult. I don't have attachment. The only thing I have attachments to is books and makeup. Everything else I can kind of, you know, declutter, keep more minimalist, but makeup and books, not there. Moving on to makeup items on the chopping block for me. Let's start off with an old favourite, the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. This is in the shade 03 True Ivory. This is so unbelievably pale. I haven't used this on myself in a very long time, so I need to try it on my skin, see how I feel. It's matte, it's full coverage. It's not really what I go for anymore, and it also has been reformulated, and I know a lot of people don't like the reformulation of this foundation, but yeah, in all honesty, I just haven't used this in such a long time that I don't know what my thoughts and feelings will be now, because I am very much a medium coverage girl. And this is a difficult video to film, honestly, guys. Lip products on the chopping block are these 2 liquid lipsticks. Now, the reason why is because I have swatched these on my lips. I like the look of them. The issue is I've never worn them out of the house. I need to wear these, and I need to wear them out of the house, and I need to have a full opinion on them. So I want to develop my opinion on these and my thoughts. So I want to use these a couple of times, have about 4 months to test these, use them, wear them, see if I enjoy them, see if I like the colour on me, everything like that. Bronzer wise, I've got the ML Safari bronzer. This is what this one looks like. I will give you a swatch. This is my least used bronzer in my collection, so I just want to, again, use it, develop some thoughts and feelings. I did love this when I first got it, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I thought I was close to pan. I do, again, like I said, want to try it a couple of times and see what my true thoughts are. Now, this next one is something that's in here because I need to be realistic with myself. This is the Revolution Contour Palette. This is what it looks like. It's absolutely stunning. Right, here is where I stand with this palette. I hate every single one of these highlighters. None of them look nice on the skin, none of them are well formulated. I'm just being brutally honest, like, none of these highlighters are well formulated. 2 of them are super chunky, one of them does literally nothing, it's like a powder on the face, and this one just gets hard panned 24/7, and when you do use it, it looks like powder on the face as well. The bronzers I have dipped into a couple of times. To be fair to myself, I have used them. I think they're okay. They're not the best, but they're nice. The main reason that I ever reach for this palette is for the contour. But in my head, I just think, like, is it worth holding on to a palette of this size when I don't enjoy this part of the palette, a third of the palette? So I want to get some more use out of this palette. I want to try using the bronzers and the contours, use the highlighters a couple of times. Okay, moving on to highlighters. I have quite a few highlighters in here. Highlighters is one of my biggest collection areas. I'm going to start off with these 2 palettes here that are highlighter based. The I Heart Revolution Cranberry Jelly one. This is a dupe for that Ariana one, but I have literally only ever swatched it. I've never worn it on my face. I really love both of these actually. When they're both sheared out, they look really nice. I need to use it on my face and develop some full opinions and thoughts. The packaging is so cute, it's nice and compact. I really, really want to love it. The BH Cosmetics Miss Bella Goldie palette. Now this is in here because this has literal glitters in it. I don't know if you can see, like these are some of like the only super intense highlighters that I have in my collection. But since I have brought this, I have again swatched it and I've used it once or twice on my face. I need to get again some more concrete opinions of this palette. This is what it's about, is concreting my opinions and seeing if I actually really, really enjoy this. These next ones are hard. All of these singles are hard because I've either loved them at one point or I really, really, really want to keep them. And the thing is, if I really, really want to keep them, I'm going to keep them. I'm not going to declutter them, but these are on this chopping block list. Not because I don't like them, but because I need to use them more. The Primark Mink Pink highlighter looks like this. This is really, really stunning. This is really great, honestly. This highlighter is so good. Like, look at that. It's stunning, it's phenomenal. I love it in the summer. So I think this one again will probably be one that I keep, but I do want to be intentional and only keep it if I love it and still use it. So we need to use this one more. Same goes for the Revolution Vivid Lights Peach Light Illuminator. This is really pretty as well. However, I do have a shade really similar in the Sofx Revolution highlighter palette, the 17 Gold Brick. I have not used this since getting the pink one. However, I still think this is stunning. It is stunning. Like, there's no way you can say that is not stunning. It is just perfect. But I just, again, I need to reach for it more in my collection. Finally, this one is such a hard one. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petals. This is just too dark for me, but I want it to work so bad that I can't declutter it. Like, I need to actually put this on my face and have a moment of straight denial in order to be able to declutter this, because look how pretty it is. It's so pretty. Finally, for the face product section, I have the Sleek Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette in Light 373. This is what this one looks like. There's a massive dip in this bronzer. Now, the issue with this palette is I really like it. I think it's great. I think these three are like a great makeup for my skin tone. Like, I can use all three of these. I love them. I love that this highlighter is nice and not too metallic. I love this blush. It's a dupe for NARS Orgasm. And this bronzer is also really, really nice and matte. I like these, but I never use this palette. Okay, eye product. This is going to shock you. These are the eyeshadow palettes that are on the chopping block. And the other thing on the chopping block is the e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara. This is because I don't really have any concrete opinions, but I just remember that I wasn't obsessed with it. It's not my favourite mascara. Okay, the eyeshadow palette situation. This is a mixture between either I don't use them enough or I had issues with them and I haven't tried them since having those issues, and I need to concrete my opinions on the palettes. I've talked about this before, the Sleek Storm palette in 578. This is what she looks like. This is a stunning palette. The shimmers and metallic makes me want to keep it. However, the mattes, I don't like. They're not impressive. They are not great colours. I don't like that there's only three. I feel like you need an extra palette to build any looks from this. I also want to make some smoky looks with this, because I think that is where this palette is at. I think if I make some smoky looks with it, I would fall in love, and that's what I want to do, because this is one of the only palettes where I have all of these smoky tones all together, and that's what I want to like play with so much. Similar thing for the Master Eye palette. This is a Primark palette. However, I was obsessed with this. This is really great formulation in my opinion. They don't sell it anymore because they only ever really do like limited rollouts. Like, they stay for a little bit and then they get new ones, stay for a little bit and they get new ones. I really enjoyed this palette, guys. Like, this palette is so good for a clothing brand in my opinion. It was cheap, it was affordable, and it was great. However, I have not used this in a hot minute, and I feel like I need to use it again to be able to keep it in my collection. So that's my goal. I just want to use it a couple of times, get a couple of looks out of it in the next 4 months, and if I get a couple of looks out of it in the next 4 months, she can stay. And these two right here, these are the Revolution Reloaded palettes. This is the one in Affection, sorry, and this is Iconic Division. Iconic Division is like a dupe for ADH Subculture palette. However, the formulation in here is honestly not great, but for some reason I just can't let go of these green shades, and I feel like I have them in other palettes, so I want to do like a swatch comparison, and I also want to do like this palette on one eye and then my other green palette on the other eye to see my true thoughts. This green shade, by the way, is crap. This is like, in my opinion, this is one of the highlight shades in the palette, like metallic wise. There's only 2 metallics, and how can you get one of them wrong? Section 1 I really love, but I have not reached for, so I just want to reach for it a couple of times. If I reach for it a couple of times and love it, then I am more than happy to keep it. This is going to be a really easy one for me to like keep and hold on to. I think there's a nice variation in lid shades, and yeah, I do like it. You can see I've reached for it a couple of times, but I just want to reach for it in the next 4 months to ensure that I am definitely going to use it. These are 2 that need thoroughly testing, and I've mentioned this before in my videos, I think, about these 2 being like uncertainties in my collection. They've been uncertainties in my collection for a couple of years, so I need to make a decision on these for once and for all, because I never reach for them because I've only ever had horrific experiences with them. Both of these, I just found that the formulas do not build. Like the eyeshadows do not build on each other. They look patchy, they don't blend nicely, and they're just really difficult to work with. Like I have found both of these just do not layer. Like the shadows will not go on top of each other. They go chunky, they go patchy, they don't like to blend once they've been on top of each other. And because of that, I am too scared to try these, because a lot of the time when I do my makeup, I want to leave the house, I want to look nice. But these need a full-blown trial course, honestly. The shadow formula is nice, like it's buttery soft, it's pigmented. Like these shades are pigmented, I will tell you that for free. Wow, that would make a really nice eye look. But they need to blend on top of each other. Particularly, I have issues with the darker shades in this palette. These down here, Enamored and Euphoric, these 2 are the troublemakers. Both need a full-on like 1 week per palette trial. Okay, and that is everything. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and like to see more videos from me, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one. Bye.